people going to think I'm sleazy? Are they going to think I'm only in it to get their money? Are they going to unfriend me because they just feel like I'm just trying to be salesy? And it was so scary to be like, well, what if I post and people like either don't like it or unfriend me? Or what if they hate it? And I would like have all these thoughts, and I just want you to know it's completely and absolutely normal. So how do you turn your business into an actual brand? Well, my name is Bijal Patel, and I've had 13 years of corporate experience working at big Fortune 500 companies, and I'm taking all of that juicy firsthand experience and have brought it into my company Launch. Within this podcast, you're going to learn about branding, vision, identity, mindset, and how to scale your business to the next level. So let's go ahead and own your brand. Let's discuss the fear of visibility. So this is something that literally 99% of people face when they're trying to build their personal brand or take their personal brand to the next level. So a lot of times when people don't want to use personal branding, or they don't want to get onto stages, or they don't want to put out their podcast, or they want to start a Facebook group. If you've been there, I know I have. I remember when I first started with organic marketing, back in 2020, I had finally discovered, I joined a mastermind program because I was actually doing interior design in 2019. That's what I came up doing, was commercial interior design for more than 13 years, won a bunch of awards, worked for really, really big companies like Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America, big household brands that you know about. I didn't really know anything about social media. And this was at the time of this 3 years ago. And I remember being scared to death of what's going to happen if I post on Facebook about my business? Are people going to think I'm sleazy? Are they going to think I'm only in it to get their money? Are they going to unfriend me because they just feel like I'm just trying to be salesy? And it was so scary to be like, well, what if I post and people either don't like it or unfriend me? Or what if they hate it? And I would have all these thoughts, and I just want you to know it's completely and absolutely normal. The fear of visibility and not fitting in is something that psychologically is a reason that we had tribes. When we were back in the day and we used to live outside and we'd live in cavewoman days, we had tribes together. And it's still, part of this is still true in society. When you get exiled, your likeliness to die is very high. Your survival rating is super, super low because you need to be with a group of people, and connection bonds us together. And so taking a look at that and saying, wait a second, I want to make sure I fit in. Of course, the fear of visibility is going to hold you back. It's holding you back. Be honest with yourself. If you're listening to this and you're resonating, be honest with yourself, because if you can be honest with yourself, we can then move into the next level, and I can teach you what you can do to get over this. So if you want to know this, I need you to be 100% honest with yourself, okay? Promise me that. When I tell you, or I ask you the question, are you afraid to post because you're worried about what somebody's going to think about you? Just think about that. Yes, no, maybe. The other question is, when you post or you put yourself out there, maybe it's in a podcast or you're in an interview and you're being interviewed, are you worried what other people are going to think? And I did a post on this in my Facebook group actually the other day, and it did really well, because the post I made and the point I was making is the biggest feeder to self-doubt is you worrying about what other people think about you. Isn't that amazing? So you think self-doubt comes from within you? Not true. Not true at all. Self-doubt comes from your nervousness and anxiety and straight fear of judgment of what other people think about you. So when you look at really successful entrepreneurs and you're spending time with them and you're friends with them, you see that we're not going to operate like that. I manage and mind my thoughts. I literally audit my thoughts to say, whether it's true or not does not make a difference. Is this useful? Is this a useful thought for me? Does this build me up? Does this give me stronger self-confidence? Does this help to annihilate self-doubt so I can get out there and be in front of you guys and do what I need to do my job? Hey, real quick, if you've gotten even one piece of gold from this podcast and you're finally starting to understand how branding and brand strategy is going to take you to the next level, would you do me a favor and either subscribe or leave us a review. That would be so amazing. Share it with a friend, send it to somebody who needs this, and let's get back to the show. And that fear of visibility that comes within us, it's quiet, and then we make excuses. So if you did raise your hand or you silently were like, yes, Bijal, how do you know what I'm thinking? Well, first of all, let me tell you that it's common. So there's nothing wrong with you, but just like any other fear, you've got to step into it with courage to get over it. So fear and courage are two sides of the same coin. Like, just like a lot of polarities, like light and dark, happiness, sadness, these opposites, these dualities, they do not exist they have to exist together. They are dichotomies that live together. So in order to get through fear, you must pursue it with courage. So fear is not necessarily a bad thing. I actually enjoy fear. I've gotten to the point where I enjoy it because when I feel it and I find out where it is in my body, for me, where I fear is actually my stomach. It's somewhere between my stomach first and then sometimes up to my heart. And when I stop and take a look at it, I'm like, oh, we like to say we're anxious. I'm just anxious. I have so much anxiety. Okay, well, what's the basis of that anxiety? Where's the anxiety coming from? And you might be surprised, but a lot of your emotions are going to come from fear underneath that layer. So what I have a kind of a rule set up for me now is when I'm in fear and I feel anxious and I'm doubting myself and I don't want to do it, it gives me even more reason to do it. And that makes me stronger. So what we do is like I did back in 2020 with that fear of visibility, you just put yourself out once a day. Once every single day, I want you to post something. Just start. And know that it is normal to get haters. It's normal for your friends and family suddenly come out the woodwork and you find out they're not as supportive of your business as you thought they were going to be, which, by the way, don't get me started on friends asking you for a discount on your business. That's absolutely ridiculous. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. You do not want to go down that road. And the piece after that is getting comfortable with knowing that when you get more visible, there will be haters 100% of the time. I actually now am at the point now of like 3 years of putting out 5 to 7 pieces of content a day across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. What am I missing? I was on Twitter for a second, not on an active right now. So many pieces of content. And then I have multiple pages on Facebook, including a Facebook group. It's crazy. The amount of content I put out there, it's literally prolific. And that same person who's sitting in front of you right now, 3 years ago was scared to death to go live because I didn't want to be on video because I didn't like the way I looked. It was COVID. I had gained some weight. I was feeling self-conscious. I didn't know I had anything interesting to say. What if no one listened? Like, oh my God, what if no one listened? What would happen? I would just die, right? I'd be so embarrassed. And that is one of the most normal things on the planet. I just want to assure you, you have a voice, you have a story, you have expertise, and you have something important to say. The world needs to hear from you. Something I say all the time is the world needs to hear more from you. So I'm going to end this with a quote that really means a lot to me. And this is a rock that a really special friend gave me at a time that was really tough in my life. And this quote has been something that has stayed with me for a really, really long time. I think I want to cite who it's from. I think it's Carl Jung, but I might be wrong. So don't quote me on that. She didn't need to be saved. She needed to be found and appreciated for exactly who she was. I'll read it again. She didn't need to be saved. She needed to be found and appreciated for exactly who she was. So whether you're he, she, whatever, doesn't matter. Can you apply that now to why showing up and getting rid of this fear of visibility is so needed? You are looking to be appreciated for exactly who you are. And there's going to be some judgment what comes with that. And guess what? You're going to be okay.